What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Tuesday, May 17th, 2022, and this is the AMC, GME, and SPY Algo Exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope you had a great day in the market today, and I hope you were able to make some extreme gains for yourselves. I'm gonna go over all the regulars that I always go over here, my snake algos for AMC, GME, and SPY, as well as some macro comparatives. But first, I need to talk to you real quick about a change that is going to be taking place here on the channel. So with all that said, let's dig in. All right, real quick, starting next week, I will no longer be live streaming out here on this channel or on the Twitch channel. I will be exclusively live streaming only in my premium Discord, the Market Open live stream days, Monday through Friday, in there only. That will start next week. However, tomorrow's live stream is still a go all day from market open to market close, starting at 9 a.m. and Friday's Beer 30 weekly wind down from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. live stream is still a go as well. So I will see you all tomorrow for the live stream, and then we'll finish it out on Friday. And then from that point on, for at least the foreseeable future, I will no longer be live streaming publicly. It will only be in my premium tier Discord. All right, with that out of the way, let's dig into these charts. On your screen is AMC and SPY. AMC on your left, SPY on your right. 5-minute intraday charts with my micro intraday snake algo on both of them. Once again, dead on fulfillment, projection and fulfillment from both of them today. Both of them were whole single clips. AMC was a 10 a.m. placement with a flipped overlay, and SPY, I'm sorry, brain fart. SPY was a full-on day placement and a flip mirrored overlay position on that one. So check the box. Another day in the book of consistent and consecutive projection and fulfillment out of my micro intraday snake algo method. All right, AMC finished the day up 10.16%. It is up, what the last I looked was an additional 3 point. Give me 1 second. Holy shit. They just closed it up. 3.64% in after hours, trading at $13.37. Hell of a good day for AMC to the upside. The current intra-week snake that has been on AMC since after the run-up here and the price action settled after that volatility is, as you see it, projection and fulfillment, an inverted mirroring, and then it diverted from this to the upside this morning. I talked about this in last night's video, potentially having this happen and being unsure of how far this would fulfill until it would show me an indicator, get a divergence, and a potential new snake, and it appears right now that that has happened today. So with that said, you guys and gals that have been with me for a minute know I typically clip the day prior to and the day of divergence. I have a lot to get over, so I'm going to try to be brief about a lot of things. So I may not explain everything in detail. We'll go over it more in depth in the live stream tomorrow. I want to get through this. It's 8 o'clock. It's late. I want to get this out to you. I want to go chill out. I'm sure y'all are probably already heading that way. So I want to get this published out to you. So y'all know that. All right. So day prior to is already on here. Obviously, for this to continue to fulfill this thing out of this divergence, would have to claim this as a rake to the upside, and it would have to rake itself straight back down in a beeline to get back in line with this thing to continue fulfillment. The day of divergence was today. I clip it, lay it on right where divergence happened. You can see the projection and fulfillment in the short term according to it in this placement, and the zoomed out version of that and what it would look like if it would fulfill in its entirety. Last week, I showed you the last potential snake prior to this divergence when I was gearing up in an attempt to stay out in front of the previous snake fulfilling and expiring simultaneously at the bottom of this prior to that 35+% run up. This was the snake. It was in this manner, straight up. So there was no way to use this. And I talked about this potentially being used as what it was meant to be, which is the next intra-week snake. And the only way for me to be able to use that would be after the volatility, once price action settled again, and then use it in an inverted mirroring way, therefore indicating that this intraday price action would translate to a macro move and reversal to the upside. And lo and behold, here we are, and it is continuously fulfilling that projection now with today's 13+% move to the upside. Excuse me. So that is what it looks like moving forward as well. So I'm going to keep that on my radar as well going into tomorrow and beyond. Obviously, they're both indicating a move up. These two here, this one would be the rake straight back down and a rejection off that 1350 and then right back down. Obviously, a little bit of difference. These are the characteristics that I will personally be looking at to try to determine which one that we would be following with real price action moving into tomorrow. So that's the intraday and the intra-week snakes for AMC. The macro comparative is the macro double-double from prior to the January 2021 run-up, and it has been on here, and I have been going over this thing every day, literally since I started the channel. Here it is in its glory. Our current price action is sitting right here in it, literally almost fulfilling candle for candle. Obviously, the next projected movement from it is upside, unless it needs to be looked at in a compressed version and it stays in this 1350 to 1250 window for this consolidation. If not, I'm going to leave it the way it is because it has continuously fulfilled, and it still is. And you can see what it is potentially projecting moving forward if it were to continue to fulfill this thing in its entirety as you see it on here now. Then I had spoke to you about an alternative bottom. Real quick, this is from over here, and the reason I did this is because of GME. And I looked at this in this position right here, and that bottom is fulfilling almost candle for candle as well. Up out of here, it does show the consolidation between the 1250 and 1350 prior to the initial parabolic move up from that. You can see the difference between the two bottoms and how that price action may or may not look moving up out of here. Not much difference, but there is a little bit of nuanced difference to it that I will be attempting to identify on this macro time frame moving forward to determine which one, if any, we may be following up out of here. Then, just in an attempt to stay out in front and to prepare for everything, so I'm not surprised by anything, I had looked at that alternate bottom in an alternate placement in case this thing were to get dropped down out of there and not continue to follow what I feel is the obvious. And I feel like that is something that should be, and it is in my mind and in my book, something that is recognized and prepared for. So if it were to continue and it did fulfill to the upside like I talked about for the rejection, I did, however, think that potentially it would reject off the macro descending third, which is the descending red line here from my box top method, and it breached that here this afternoon up to the 1350. So what 1350 could provide a rejection for that, and it could still fulfill that to the downside if it were like the previous the current that we just diverted from today, intra-week snake, were to still stay on the table, would require that beeline back down to the downside in that manner. So it is on my radar. It's something I'm just going to be keeping in the back of my head. But obviously, if we reject down, it's going to be very, very, very apparent to that level that may be what's happening if that were to happen. But there are the macro comparatives for AMC that I am personally looking at. GME, the current snake for GME, I said in last night's video that it had already projected and fulfilled. Today is the fifth day of, yesterday would have been the fifth day. Today would have been day 6 of fulfillment from this snake and its projections. It did project the move into the downside and the bounce, the V recovery, and the 35+% to the upside, almost candle for candle on the 4 hour, and now back down in, and we did exactly that. We diverted as well from it today to the upside. As you know, I clipped the day prior to the day of, so I clipped those. The day prior to, which was yesterday's, on current, looks like this. You can, with an overlap of projection and fulfillment, you can see the projection moving forward into tomorrow and beyond from it, and then the zoomed out version of it if it were to continue to fulfill according to it. Then the day of diversion, which obviously was today. Get on there. My hand's a little not steady. There is the overlap, projection, and fulfillment from it, and the move up today, and the upcoming potential projection from it moving forward in this placement. Initial placement day. Things may need to be adjusted once I have a little more data in the form of price action and definitive movement and potential definitive structure for me to identify where this belongs. But my initial take on it, I'm looking at it in that manner. And then here's the zoomed out view of that if it were to fulfill that in its entirety, the way it stands on there currently. Then there's the macro comparative, which is from the previous bottom over here. I started using this last week, and I showed you all that and have been looking at it every day. It projected the move to the upside last week, and now the downside yesterday, and now today, the fulfillment going into after hours last night, pre-market this morning, and now the upside today. And obviously there you can see the upcoming short-term future projection from it potentially and moving forward in the placement that it's in, and the zoomed out version of it without any kind of adjustments or anything in the placement that it is currently in if it were to continue to fulfill in its entirety. Real quick, GME finished the day up 9.35% and ended the night up an additional 0.62% at $101 even. And then last but not least, SPY. The macro comparative for SPY is the red macro comparative from the 08-09 correction and crash that has been projecting and fulfilling for quite some time now. I have literally been doing this and reviewing this and tracking this ever since I started this channel. It is here. I talked about it last week. It needed to make the hard upside move to get back in line with this. This is a projected suggested path, not a candle for candle projection or fulfillment. However, at times it may give that, and I'm okay with that, but I've never used it personally for that. Just a projected path. And I talked about this price action needing to get back upside in a hard move, and it has done that since last Thursday. And then all I am expecting to see is somewhat of an ascending level of support as it maybe continues to consolidate in that ascending manner. Excuse me. And we got that move to the upside in a continuation fashion today. SPY ended the day of regular hours up 2.06%, down 0.04 in after hours at 408.17. Then the current intra-week snake for SPY is the yellow snake that you see there. And right there it is with its overlap and its projection and fulfillment. And I spoke to you in last night's video about a potential short-term move to the upside. The levels of rejection were initially down here at the 401, 402, and then up here between the 408 and the 412 is what I was potentially expecting from this if it were to reject and continue to follow this and fulfill up to the top of what appears to be the last candle up from this bottom prior to the rejection and then the continuation to the downside. Once again, it got that move to the upside today, And if it were to continue that, you see what it would have to do potentially then moving forward to get that fulfillment from that projected intra-week snake. That is everything I have that I am looking at personally going into tomorrow and the rest of this week here. Briefly, in this video, if you made it to the end of the video, I greatly appreciate it. Do me a favor, like the video, leave a comment like you always do. I greatly appreciate all y'all that do that every night. Quick reminder, I will be live here tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. from market open to market close. I hope to see y'all then. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Later.